This is where we're going? Whoever's letting us stay with them, we're going to mess their place up. No, we're not in my garage. We're actually in one of my oldest friend's garage in Tampa, Florida. And I have not finished my own bike, but the girlfriend's bike is running fantastic. So I just got to cut this chain a little bit, and then we'll get ready to take this bad boy for a spin. I think I have to run closer to Kissing Me tomorrow, and Giovanni was telling me that there might be a e-bike ride on Wednesday. So I'm going to see if I can get the bike ready, and then we'll see if we can meet up with people tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, Shirako. What I did, I lined up the chains until I had just this much of a gap between where I needed to be when I sized it, right? And then I marked it with this bread tie, that way I would know where to stop. And then I got 2 discs, put them together, and then held the chain with a wrench so it wouldn't go anywhere. And just its weight was enough to keep the chain from moving. And then I just ground down one side until it was kind of bad. When I got to that point, I just bent the chain, and then the little pin was hanging around. I just pushed it with a little screwdriver, slid it out with a pair of pliers. It's real simple. Do not be intimidated about making a chain. It's not a big deal. The first thing you should do is get one of those 3-meter bags of 25H. Let's see if I can find it. Right there, look. You see right there? The chain says 25H. That's the stuff you want. You want to get at least 1 bag for every 2 bikes. If you can get 1 bag for every 2 bikes, you're good to go. And then when the chain starts to have a lot of left and right slop to it, that's when it's time to go. However, this one does not have any slop in it. See? Don't have any slop. So it's still good. That's why we're going to reuse it. So we're going to put the chain tensioner right here on the motor. And the reason why I want to do that is because I don't care what chain you're using. It depends on this post. Some people want them, some people don't. And if you change your mind, then you got to cut it off. Then you need tools. Or you could just take the factory tensioner, stick it on the open hole of your brushless My 1020 motor, use 1 or 2 washers, and then I used a little piece of rubber to get my height real nice and sturdy for the tension, and a zip tie to hold the rubber in place. I have not had a problem. This motor with this package has been on 3 swing arms. I have not had 1 problem. So we're going to keep doing that. This is a 15 tooth. I should probably go down to a 14 tooth and then throw in that 12-inch wheel that has the appropriate 160 millimeter rotor that I did not put on. And then finish putting this bike together so that I can take it for a spin eventually. Exciting. Okay, chain is mounted. Very tight. We got our guard keeping it on it. There's our master link. If I can provide enough light, you can see the linky. And then the tensioner right there. It's working off of that bolt. It's really simple. You're not running into anything either. It's real clean. So that's the best way I think to do it. Remember to show you guys my work. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken the thumb throttle and the power line, which is 5 wires, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I took the bullet connectors and then used a factory Razor connector, but I may not be able to use this. I'm not. The speeds are too short for these bikes, so I mount them to my shocks. And now I'm going to go ahead and wrap up all the wires that I'm not going to use with that extra wire. The wires that I will be using are a power wire, which is red. This orange is the electric lock. If you apply power to the electric lock, you usually turn the controller on. That's usually what it takes. This is the speed switch connector, and this is our throttle. After that, there's not much else. You're ready to go. You've inserted your Hall effect. You got to protect your wires. I'll do something about it, and then I'll wrap up these guys and keep them out of the way. That's pretty much it. All this extra stuff is like headlight switches and brake light switch, but I rode this harness 2 builds ago, and I don't even care right now. I'll process it when I get to that bridge. Don't ever put too many things in your mind at once. Just focus on the simple things. And right now, I'm doing a speed switch. So I'm going to go ahead and I've mounted my speed switch. Now I'm going to go ahead and wrap up all the wires that I'm not going to use with it to secure them, put them somewhere, and then use the back end with the black, pink, and gray. Oh, I love me. I'll just take these 2 guys out, put these 2 guys together, and then insert these last ones with these. And I'm done, I think. Oh no, did you buy the wrong throttle? Did you get the throttle with the little connector? That's okay. Remember this little grinder I showed you earlier? You're just gonna go ahead and trim off some of the top there. That way the pins can slide right out. Connector now removed. You can go ahead and test the throttle on your new bike. This is important because when it's time for you to hook up your China 5000 watt 36 MOSFET controller, you're going to want to make sure that you get the direction right on the motor. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the 2 white wires and you're going to put them together. So that way when you turn the switch on and it gets ready to learn what it is, boom, it's on and it spins. It's spinning backwards. Why is it spinning backwards? Because we run a freewheel. When I put the throttle on and take it off of test mode, it's going to go in the correct direction. However, if I had done this the way that I'd done it before and the wheel was actually spinning, you would have to hit the throttle all the way up and down and then let go. Then the motor would reverse and do what it's doing right now. Then what you do is you turn it off and you unplug the self-learn mode button right here, or the wire. You unplug that. And then whenever you turn it back on with your working throttle that you can use by testing right here, red, green, and black, you'll hook up the correct red, green, and black wires to them and give it a shot. Don't worry, those little pins will slide all the way in. So go ahead and do it. If you want, you can go ahead and swap out your ignition switch now, which I probably should. Before you hook it up, make sure that it's off. That's the off button. And then assemble it. All right. So it did work. It's hard to do it all at once, but there we go. All right, that was speed 1. Let's try speed 3. Okay, so that obviously works. All right, now I just got to plumb up the new throttle and take her for a spin. It's dark outside, but at least I have the bike together. Let's go for a ride. I obviously had to let the forks come through the slides a little bit as they were a little too tall. It made it not feel right, so they're adjustable. That's how you do it. You having fun, son? You go for a ride? Yeah, let's go for a ride. Okay. Yeah, I think the bike's working great. Pretty cool, very happy. Thank you, CJ, for helping me. It's a pretty fun ride. I should have grabbed the 12. Instead, I grabbed the 10. So it doesn't look amazing, but it feels pretty good. I'm happy with it. Charging these batteries. Getting low, son. Let's go ahead and get back in the car, okay? Rocco, let's go get in the chop, okay? You want to keep riding? You want to ride some more? We gotta go jump in the shop. Batteries are low. There you go, Burger Butt. Ready? I love you too, little man. All right, let's get you down. Ooh. So, what's your review? Yeah? You have a good review for Daddy? So there you have it, folks. Clearly puppy approved. So, if you're considering getting the very best fork you can get for a Razor MX bike with the very best brakes you can possibly get for an MX bike, don't be afraid to give me an email. Update, news update.
Okay, so reviews at a local titty bar. Girls spend the whole time trying to convince you to get a private room. PRIVET. No cute girls. Awful experience. The owner responded, Jacob, we shut down all the private rooms. PRIVET. Years ago when the local zoologist suggested it. What would you have preferred the girls ask you about? Global thermonuclear warfare? And perhaps a fireside chat on macroeconomics. Did you realize you were in a strip club? Sorry the experience was awful, but perhaps next time bring more than $17 and a much better personality. Changing the review won't change what a tool you are, Jason.
Welcome to Florida.